All right, everybody. We got some more people joining us here. In just a second, we're going to get started. I don't want to get too far behind tonight because we got some real bad storms here tonight in the Tallahassee area. So it's like some flash flooding. So I kind of want to get this done so I can go ahead and make sure I have my area around my man cave and stuff like that secured, because every time it rains really bad, that tends to flood a little bit. Water seems to seep under the door seams. I've tried to seal it, but I've got some of that flex seal. So I'm gonna be putting some of that down tonight. So make sure it doesn't seep in and saturate my floor in there. But anyway, tonight is Thursday night. If you have your mics open, please mute your mics. Especially if you have conversations going on in the background. If you've got kids in the house, if you've got television sets or stuff on, or if you're talking on the phone with other people, or if you're doing anything other than tune into what we're doing, mute your mics, because these mics pick up everything. A lot of times y'all think that you may be having a conversation or someone may pop in saying stuff, you think that we're not hearing you, but it's all being recorded because it's all picks up on the mic and it comes through loud and clear. So I'm just letting y'all know that. So make sure you keep your mics muted unless we are addressing you all as a group and we're looking for responses. Other than that, please try to keep your mics muted to make for a better and clearer broadcast, because we are live on YouTube, of course, and of course this is being recorded. Okay, all right. So tonight is Thursday night, and we're going to be doing this is series number 5, which is load acquisition. So tonight it's going to be kind of exciting. We're going to be on the load board. So let me go ahead and start my recording. Give me a moment. Let me start my recording, and we'll go ahead and get started. Record. All right. Good evening, everybody. This is Calvin Butler with the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and the National Dispatchers Network. And tonight is Thursday night. The time now is 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it is time for our How to Dispatch training series. Tonight we are on series number 5, which is load acquisition. So we're going to be going to the load boards tonight and showing you all how to navigate the load boards and how to use the load boards to find freight. Now, I want y'all to know something. Load counts and the load count specifically is not what it has been for the last few years. And I have telling you all for the last 2.5 years, on telling you all that was not normal. That is not indicative of the industry load count. Okay. At very, very high rates. And I kept telling you all that. I kept telling you all at some point in time, the industry was going to revert back to its normality, and that's experiencing now. So if you're having difficulty finding loads for your carriers, or finding loads that were paying as much as they were, let's say 4, 6, 8 months ago. Welcome to the real world. Okay, this is how things really are in the trucking industry. Now, what happened to make the last 3 years make the load count as higher than it's been in the last 30 years? Here's what happened. The pandemic happened. Plain and simple. The pandemic happened. It caught us by surprise. It caught the world by surprise. And people started to panic. Here we had this deadly virus that was striking people and killing people, and we had nothing to combat it, nothing to stop it. And the only solution is to tell people to stay home, quarantine. Stay home, quarantine. Put on gloves, put on masks. When you start seeing people wearing masks all over the place, fear sets in. People are at home. They can't go to work. Businesses shutting down, schools closing, malls closing. The streets look like seriously, look like a ghost town in big major cities. Everybody was home. And when that happens, fear set in. You start hearing about all these thousands of deaths, people dying every day from COVID-19. So fear set in, and people started running out and getting stuff that they really did not need. I mean, come on. We had a shortage of toilet paper. We had a shortage of cereal. We had a shortage of bottled water. A shortage of all this stuff that people were stocking up on out of fear and panic. And when that happened, that created a false demand for freight. It created a false demand for freight across the board. I mean, seriously, it got so bad that there was so much freight that was being requested and so much freight that was being shipped, the distribution plants didn't know how to handle it. Okay, they really didn't know how to handle it. And so that's what drove up the load count, okay, of that false sense of need to have so much of everything, because people were uncertain as to when they was going to be able to get out and get stuff. It was uncertain about what the future was. That's what drove up the load count. That's why you started seeing 10,000 loads in Texas, when before Texas barely broke 2,000 loads. I mean, barely broke 2,500 loads on its best day. But all of a sudden, you start seeing 10,000 loads in Texas every single day for the last 2 or 3 years. 6,000 loads in Mississippi. Where does that happen then? Okay, 5,000 loads in Florida, 6,000 to 5,000 loads in Georgia. I mean, there was even up in Pennsylvania, close to 9,000 to 10,000 loads in Pennsylvania, 7,000 loads in Illinois, 7,000 to 8,000 loads in Indiana, even all the way over into Washington State and North Dakota and South Dakota, where they were traditionally have single-digit numbers. I'm talking about 6 loads, 7 loads, 10 loads, 20 loads. Before the pandemic, you could hardly find 30 loads in South Dakota. But for the last 3 years, the load count in South Dakota and North Dakota was in the hundreds, 800, 900, 700. California, 12,000 loads. No, that's not normal. Okay, that wasn't normal. And then shortly after that, during the thick of the pandemic, some political stuff started happening on the world scene that made fuel prices jump way up. So because the fuel prices jumped way up and the economy started following suit, what happened with that? The price of freight started skyrocketing, because the industry always adjusts itself to keep up with the economy. So you had 2 factors there. You had a war that was an unprovoked war of Russia suddenly attacking Ukraine. Now, most of us don't even know we didn't even know what Ukraine was. We didn't even know it existed. We had no idea where it was. We didn't even know it was a major country, okay? Because we never heard about it. But some interesting facts about Ukraine. The Russian oil pipeline, where does it run through? Ukraine. Where do we get a lot of our oil? People think that we get a lot of our oil from the Arab nations. Yeah, we do get some of our oil from the Arab nations, but we actually get a lot of oil from the Russian pipeline that flows through the Russian pipeline. And that runs through Ukraine. Our grain, when we used to make food, grain, grits, rice, all that other stuff, all about 60% of the world's grain. Guess where it comes from, people? Ukraine. Yeah, see, a lot of y'all didn't know that. Europe, 70% of their power generates from the major nuclear power plant where? In buy that power from Ukraine. So you got a lot of political stuff. You got the pandemic, seeing all that stuff combined drove the load count up and drove the rates up. But what's starting to happen now? We finally came up with a vaccine, a way to combat the pandemic. Okay, people start going back to work. People calmed down. People stopped buying all this stuff that they didn't need. Jobs started coming back. Schools started opening back up. People started going back to the malls, stores, and all these things started coming back. So now there's no big demand for it anymore. So guess what? The load count comes back down to where it was. Right? Now all of a sudden, what's happened with the fuel prices? They're coming down now. Fuel prices is right below $4 per mile. So now you see the fuel prices come down. So guess what happens? The industry adjusts itself to match the economy. The rates start to come back down. Now we're in normal space. This is what is normal. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this so much tonight, because tonight we're doing load acquisition, locating freight for your carrier. So this is particularly important and pointing to what we are going to be training on tonight, because I'm taking you all back to the basics of what I've been, and actually I've been teaching this the entire time. Have conversations with your carriers, okay? Have those hard conversations with your carriers. Learn how to move your carriers from areas where there's not an abundance of freight, and have that conversation with them and move them down to areas where there is still good paying freight and there's still quite a bit of dedicated loads that you can put them on and secure them and then have them to go home every weekend. I've been preaching that for the last 3 years. Reason why I've been preaching that so heavily, because I knew that this was a bubble that we were in. I knew that this thing with these high rates, these high load counts, it was not reality, and it was not going to last forever. It wasn't going to last for very long. Okay, so now you all are in a situation where you got to know how to dispatch. Okay, you really got to know how to dispatch. You can't just wing it like a lot of these dispatches. A lot of these dispatches that have come out in the last 2 to 3 years, they came at a time when freight was high, a lot of freight, the rates were high. I mean, hell, a baby could go out there and dispatch freight and make good money. Seriously. I mean, seriously, you can pick up a handful of rocks, throw them out your back door, and hit good paying freight. That's how abundant it was. But that was not reality. Okay? You got a lot of these freight broker and dispatch trainers who came on the scene in the last 3 years, flooded the industry in the last 3 years, and all they was teaching was, go grab this good freight, go grab this good freight, go grab this good freight. Well, they weren't teaching very much because that's worthless now. All that training that they did on how to go out and get all that good freight that was out there is worthless. It's worthless. Okay? Because they really didn't know what it was talking about to begin with. Their success was based on a false demand and a false heightened need for freight. That's what it was based on. It wasn't based in any real know-how or any real reality or any real skill set. Like when I started teaching you all on the freight broker side about negotiating your margins, I caught a lot of flack from a lot of freight brokers new freight brokers and a lot of freight broker trainers who came on the scene in the last 3 years said, there's no such thing as margins. Why would a shipper give you a margin? Well, now you know why. Now you know why. Because without that margin, when the load count goes down and when the money on the freight goes down, there's no room for profit for the brokers. It becomes almost impossible to move all the freight, cheap freight, mid-range freight, and high-dollar freight. But if you learn how to negotiate margins with the shippers, you can move all freight and everybody still makes money. Okay? So you all in the right place at the right time. All right, let's go and get started. All right, tonight, let me go and check on my YouTube people and start sharing my screen. And we'll check on my YouTube people real quick, see what's going on with them. We'll do some share. Go over here to YouTube and see what we got going on. See who's joining us tonight on YouTube. Wait for my YouTube channel to refresh here. All right, here we go. See who we got joining us on YouTube tonight. All right, looks like we've got 7 watching on YouTube so far. And see who's checked in. And we have Robinson LeBron has checked in. Hello, Robinson, how you doing? Leonard's Closet, greetings, Calvin. Are you freezing? No, I'm not freezing. Why are you asking my freezing? Stacy over at says, hey, everybody. I don't know why you asked if I'm freezing. It's your girl, China. Was trying to access the Zoom. If you have your back office access, you should be able to access it. Good evening. All right. So that's who we have on our live Zoom tonight so far. All right, let's go ahead and get started on what we're going to get started on now. As you all know, we access all of our back office tools and resources through our back office site, which is the National Dispatcher Network at mydispatcher.org. You're going to go over here and you're going to plug into where it says more, which is the secure back office area. If you don't have a login, you're not going to be able to access this area. And you're not going to get logged in unless you are a subscription paying member and you are up to date on your monthly subscription payments. So this is how you access the back office tools and resources. No one gets in without actually having a back office login. Okay, so this is where you go to access your back office tools and resources. Tonight, we're going to be doing the load moves. We're going to come down here because tonight we are on load acquisition. Last week, we did the dispatch agreement and the profile form for the carrier profile form. So after you got your carriers to sign your dispatch agreement and they filled out and sent you back that carrier profile form telling you, how they want to run, where they want to run, what kind of money they're looking for, now it's time to go to work. Now, the question has been raised is, when do you start looking for loads? All right. Remember, I told y'all this is a split shift type of business. You're going to look for freight. Now, you can look for freight at night if you want to, but the best time to start looking for freight, because you're going to have an abundance of loads, all the new loads are going to be on the load board, is between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. That is the time when you need to be on in the mornings looking for freight, between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. Because that's when a lot of the new loads are going to hit. The brokers are going to usually be getting into the office around 6:30, 6:45. They're going to post up the new load right just before 7 a.m. And you're going to have a whole bunch of fresh loads on the load board. That's when you're going to have your best load count. 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. up until about 9 o'clock in the morning. Usually by 9:30 to 10 o'clock, all the good loads are gone. Okay, all the loads that are going to be issued out, they're pretty much have been issued out, and you have slim tickets after that. So the time, the time for you all, y'all have to excuse me. I'm still dealing with this rebound case of COVID. I was on that Plaxivid um, um, some people call it Plex COVID, Plaxivir, whatever it is. But I was on that Plaxivir and got rid of the COVID, but then I had a rebound. They say that about 8% of the people who take Plaxivir experience what's called rebound COVID. Yeah, it would go figure that I would be in that 8%. Because I've had every form of COVID there is. This is about my 6th or 7th time getting COVID. Okay, I've had every form of COVID there is, and I am fully vaccinated and double boosted, the whole 9 yards. Thank God, because I don't think I would be here if I were not vaccinated, because the first time it almost killed me. And the vaccine wasn't out when I first got it, which was in January of 2020. I was one of the first. Actually, I was one of the first in Florida. I think I was in the first in like 15 or 20 cases in the state of Florida when COVID first hit back in 2020. And I got it in January of 2020, and I had it for about 8 months. I had it real bad. I was this close from being admitted to the hospital, couldn't breathe, the whole 9 yards. I had it real bad. And it caused some long-term problems for me that I'm just now really starting to get over this year. I had picked up a lot of weight. I had trouble walking, all that stuff, but now all that's going away. My weight is coming down. I lost 153 pounds during this last year. So I'm getting back to my normal self. I got about another 70, 80 pounds to go, and I'll be back. Right. But anyway, let's get on to what I'm trying to train. Tonight, we're going to go over load boards. As you all know, this is where you find your load boards here in our Rolodex section down low. If you click to the right of this, it's going to rotate around to the left, like so. It's going to rotate around onto the left. And if you want to know what load board you're on, you're basically going to put your cursor in the middle, let it sit there, and it'll tell you what that is. That's Trucking Planet. Just click on it. That's JB Hutt 360, of course. Roll it around, let it sit there. That's Load Solutions. That's Next Load. That's Hot Shot Carriers. So as you roll it around, you're gonna just put your cursor over it and let it sit there, and it'll tell you what it is. Load board, truckers. That's Truckers Path. That right there is Step Deck Carriers. And tonight we're gonna be looking at our go-to load board, which is gonna be direct freight. That's what we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with direct freight. Okay, so that's what we're gonna start. All right. Let's go ahead and get over to direct freight. Now, when you're going to these load boards, when you click on them, don't just click on them and keep going. Okay, you're gonna click on them and you're gonna hold it there. You're gonna make sure you read that holding section, because there's gonna be a section that you're gonna go to that's got a holding section that's gonna have stuff there for you to read. Read it, because that's where your username and password is. Do not, let me repeat something. Do not ever share the usernames and passwords with anyone. I don't care if they are members of our platform. If a member of the platform calls you up or contacts you in any way and says, what's the username and password to such and such load board in the back office? Don't give it to them. Okay? All you need to do is tell them it's in the back office. Go to your back office, log in, and you'll see it. Because we have some people who join our platform, they may drop out, they may not make their payments on time. They may have missed 4 or 5 payments. And when that happens, they get booted from the back office. Okay, their back office login gets blocked. Okay, so therefore, if anybody calls you up and says, I need the password to the back office, don't give it to them. I don't care if you know they're a member, don't give it to them. Because they have access to the back office just like you if they are a subscription paying member, and if their subscription payments are up to date and on time. Okay, do not share those passwords. Under no circumstances are you ever to change any of the logins. Don't change the username. Don't change the password. That constitutes identity theft, and we do prosecute. There was a time when we didn't prosecute. We just called people up and said, hey, why did you do this? Why did you do that? But no. Now we got to change it back. All this other stuff, this and that. But people kept doing it because they thought it was, I don't know if they thought it was cute, they thought it was funny or whatever the case may be. But then we had some people prosecuted, and a couple people wind up getting probation. One person actually went to jail, went to prison, because it is a felony. Identity theft is a felony. Okay. And we got to the point now where we do prosecute. So I'm telling you now, don't ever change any of those logins in the back office. Don't ever do it. Okay? Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm telling you now, don't do it. It'll be the worst mistake of your life. If you think you can do it and not get caught, think again. Because all I've got to do is call the load board administrators. I call the load boards themselves, give them my secret password, which none of you all know. Give them my secret password. They pull up that account. Then they tell me which IP address changed the passwords. And then we got you. Okay? So don't do it. Don't. If it seems like I just got real serious here all of a sudden, because I am, don't do it. Okay? Now you've been warned. Don't ever do that. All right. With that being said, direct freight is one of our go-to load boards, as you all can see here. Now, here's what I want y'all to always do when you go to a load board. If it has a load map, you're going to go to your load map first. You're not going to just go quick find loads. You're going to go to your load map first, because your load map is going to give you a snapshot of the country. Okay, it's going to give you a good representation of what's going on in the country when it comes to load count and load availability. This way, you know, if you got some people up here around Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, you know, these areas up here that had very few load counts, you know from first glance, if you got people in those areas, if it's going to be difficult for you to find them loads real close by, right? So there in Wyoming is only 69 loads, or there in North Dakota is only 48 loads. You know you're going to have to kind of stretch them out. You may have to send them over here to Minnesota, or even over here to Wisconsin, or over here to wherever, just to get them a load going out of there, right? And you may want to consider having that conversation with them and moving them down to areas where the load count is higher and easier to access loads. Now, excuse me, some people say California because, you know, it always has over 1,000 loads, but you have to look at what's surrounding California, okay? Look at the load count around California, okay? Like, it's California, but in Nevada, you only have 191 loads. And those are two big states. That ride from there to there, that's a long ride. I'm telling you all right now. And there's very few fuel stations in between there, okay? From there to there, and from here to here, that's a long ride out, okay? So you want to look around those areas to see what the load count is around the area. Ideally, if you're going to move someone anywhere, you want to move them down towards Texas, because when they come down to Texas, they have Louisiana, which is right there next door, Arkansas, which is right there next door, always have pretty good load count. Then next to them, you got Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina. All these states are real close. They're very close. Texas is a big state, but next to it, you got a lot of small states that are real close, that where you can bounce your carriers around without having to travel very far and make good money. Even run them down to Florida, because Florida has the unique distinction of having a lot of dedicated loads. Now, yes, it's going to be difficult to run someone in Florida and get them out of Florida, but if you run someone down to Florida and just tell them to stay in Florida and run for that week, make money, and then go home on the weekend, and then come back to Florida and just run within Florida, that is the best place to make money right now. Somebody's mic is open. Listen to when I tell you this. Florida is probably the best place.
What happened? Did he freeze?
Yeah, it looks like we lost him for a minute.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
Think so too. I got him on YouTube as well. Oh, YouTube just went out.
Guess we hang tight to see if we're gonna pop back into this one, into this Zoom.
Yeah, because he's still recording, I see, so it's just probably a bad connection. Didn't totally go out, it just probably just froze.
Okay.
Anyways, how y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you? I'm Anaya.
Hi, and I am Jen. I'm doing awesome.
I'm James.
Hi,
I'm
Jane.
Hey, what's going
I'm
on,
doing
James?
well. I'm doing well.
Hey guys, I'm Jasmine.
Hey, Jasmine.
Hey, it's Oscar, everybody. How you doing, everybody?
Hey, that's my
Hello.
girl, Miss Washington.
How y'all doing?
Doing awesome, doing awesome.
Great.
Where's everybody from? I'm in Maryland.
Okay, see over here.
Okay.
I'm in
St.
Maryland.
Louis.
This is Janie. I'm in Maryland as well.
Oh, hey, neighbor.
Hey,
I'm in Atlanta.
This is Anaya. I'm in Houston.
Oh, H-Town. Okay, okay.
Hi, this is Elisha. I'm in Dayton, Ohio.
I
Okay.
like Dayton. I like
Good to meet you.
Okay, yeah. I posted on your post today. I seen on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Double good to meet you then. See?
Yep.
I
Uh-huh.
didn't even catch that.
Elisha, I'm in Dayton, Ohio.
a lot of Dayton. Someone said they was from Atlanta.
Yeah, somebody said they were from Atlanta.
That's my second home.
Yeah, I'm from Atlanta. This is James.
Oh, hey, James. I lived in Alpharetta for 11 years.
Oh, okay.
I'm always in Atlanta, especially when I'm trucking, because I'm a truck driver too. So,
Oh, okay. We'll have to do coffee sometime.
yeah.
Seriously. Yeah.
What part of Atlanta are you in?
I'm in Covington.
Oh, Covington. Okay, okay. I'm all over. I lived in Alpharetta. I lived in Norcross, Roswell, Holcomb Bridge. Yeah, that's my second home.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to live in Atlanta too. I stayed in Stockbridge. I stayed there for 7 years, and then we moved back to Dayton. Yeah, I loved it in Atlanta. It's nice.
I want to buy a house in Atlanta so bad, but the people out there are crazy.
It just depends on where you move to. I like further south, like Stockbridge, the outskirts is more nicer, you know what I'm saying? Bigger houses, it's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it out here in Covington where I am.
Yeah.
It's really nice out here.
Yeah.
I love the nature. So in Houston, we never see the seasons change. In Atlanta, I love watching the seasons change. Like during dogwood season, the tree. They have this big festival behind the tree. He knows what I'm talking about. The dogwood festivals. Yeah, I love it. The nature. So in Houston, we never see the seasons change. In Atlanta.
Anybody else on here from Ohio?
I used to live in Cleveland
Oh,
some
did
years
you?
ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in St. Louis.
Okay.
I'm from East St. Louis. Hey.
Hey, hey.
Okay.
Hey
Eat
guys,
a
just
box
to
of
give you
rice for me,
a
please. Eat a box of rice for me.
just to give you a hey. Hello. Yeah, just to give everyone a heads up. I just called him. He said that his power got knocked out. So
Uh-oh.
Are we gonna reschedule?
so he said just
or-
yeah, so he said just give him a couple of minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, babe.
yeah, who was from Maryland?
Oh, that would be me.
Jen, what part of Maryland are you in?
I'm in Anne Arundel County,
Okay, I'm in the city. You're not far.
like that Odenton area.
Mhm.
What part are you in?
I'm in Baltimore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right up the road.
Mhm.
Definitely connect up with me.
Sounds like a plan.
Good deal.
Definitely. This is my second class, so my second, second class.
Oh, you took another one somewhere else?
No, I'm sorry. As far as last week was my first week, I apologize. This is my second.
Oh,
Last week was the
gotcha.
first week, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello, how is everyone doing?
I was wondering if you were gonna say anything.
Oh, I'm on the highway, so that's why. I just called Calvin. His power went out in his neighborhood, so it's back up, but he's waiting on his server to reboot.
Yes, you're late. I already gave that announcement.
Huh?
You said you're late. I already gave that announcement.
Oh, I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
What's going on? I haven't talked to you in a while.
I know.
I know you're just a busy man with the plan. I love it.
I need to hire somebody now.
Exactly. Outsource. Need a staff.
Right. Now I was talking to Calvin about it. I'm just gonna choose someone from the group.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, keep it in house.
There you go.
Yep. So everyone doing it. Everyone have trucks. The new dispatchers. Don't know if they have any trucks yet.
Uh-oh.
I have no, I don't, this is my first class. I don't have any yet.
Yeah, I really want to master everything before I get the calling.
Okay. You'll get it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and it's once you lock one in, it's
Right.
the rest is pretty easy.
Right. And once you start calling, everything just become easy.
Okay.
You could really make it your own and throw your own words in it. Just over make you comfortable. So once you're doing it every day, then it gets easy.
How many trucks do you have now?
I have a total of 7.
How long have you been doing this?
Since 2019, 2020, I would say.
Okay.
Late 2019 is when I got hooked up with Calvin, and I was slacking for a bit. And then I started, got my one carrier, then I start doing cars. So I was doing a whole lot of cars for a minute. A whole lot of cars. I was doing more cars than freight. And when the pandemic hit, everything just started, going down, because I was doing boats and stuff as well, especially here in Florida. You have a lot of the boaters that ship their boats back and forth. So I was doing more boats and car than freight.
You find that was easier to break into?
Not really, especially for cars. Not really. It's just that, when I was in the class with Calvin and he taught us how to do it, I just started doing it. I was like, oh wow. So I just basically stick to it. But I had one carrier at the time while I was doing it. But, it slowed down a little bit now, but I still do it though. But I do more freight now, so.
Wow, I didn't know you can do both.
Yeah, I do boats,
I didn't think of
RVs, motorcycles, you name it, overseas. But I have two clients that actually call me with overseas. The only thing I do is picked up the car either from the port or take it to the port. And he'll send me the paperwork. Huh?
I think I'm back. All right, everybody.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, there you are.
I was.
Well, like I said, the weather here is really, really, really bad.
Oh Lord, he done froze again.
And then the power came back on, and then the service just not came back. Really, really bad thunder and lightning here right now. So we're gonna try to get through this as best we can. Running. Let me check and see if we're still live. streaming on YouTube, so we should be good there. And everything. And let's see if we can get back to where we were. I'll give you just a moment. Give me just a moment. Let me get back to where we were. Direct freight. Let me get my YouTube people back. The weather. A lot of things I can't control that weather. So let's see. So we've got our YouTube people back. Get back on our YouTube screen. Where we at here? Them, go to the channel. Back to our live stream on YouTube. All right, there we have it. I'm back on YouTube. Got my YouTube back. Okay, I do apologize. Y'all give me a second. Let me get rid of this crazy stuff on YouTube. These people always tend to find a way to start posting all this crazy stuff. Y'all just give me a second. Let me get rid of this idiot. I wish lightning would strike him. I take that back. I just would lightning would strike his computer. Give me a second. And I keep reporting this, and it's the same nutcase. I keep reporting them, but YouTube doesn't seem to be doing anything about it. Which I don't know what's going on with YouTube support, because I report them and I flag them, and I've even tried to ban them, but YouTube just seems to let them just keep coming back and posting this stuff up, on our sites, on our YouTube feed. So I don't know what's going on, but I'll keep banning them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the live stream to YouTube. Then that'll just be that. I don't know what they get out of this, because nobody is going to their dumb site to keep posting this stuff anyway, which is just downright stupid. I mean, it really doesn't make sense. Let me get rid of the chat. Y'all give me a second. Let me get rid of this live chat. I'm just gonna have to get rid of this live chat. Somehow or another, this person has gotten into my account. I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know how to get rid of this person. See what's going on here. Y'all give me a second. I do apologize. Trying to see what's going on with this YouTube stuff. increase strictness. And see if that's going to do it. All right. I'm holding all comments for review, and I'm probably going to just disable comments all together. Let's see if that's going to do it. All right. I'm holding all comments. And again, I do apologize for this, but you have some people who just, I don't know what's wrong with these people. All right, idiots.
Do anyone have any question? Meanwhile, Calvin is fixing what he's doing.
All right, everybody. Let's go and get back to what we were doing. Okay. All right. As I said before, where we at? Okay, we were on the load map. All right. Now, as I was saying before, if you really want to, the area right now, the best thing you all can do, really, is to move your carriers down to the areas where there's still some, good paying and abundant freight. Particularly, there are a couple of areas that you can move your carriers to. Like I said before, California is great if you're just going to stay in California, but it's going to be difficult, getting loads, because you got to run people pretty far out of California. Okay, because look at what's around California and see what the load count is, around California. So that's going to be kind of difficult. Texas is a good way to go. Why? Because Texas has a lot of freight within Texas. Texas also is close to a lot of these smaller states. They have good load count, and these states are known for having high volume dedicated freight. Particularly Florida, believe it or not. I know a lot of people say Florida, you can't make money in Florida, but that is the best place to go to make money right now. Why? Because once you're in Florida, you can make all the money you want to make. And then you're just gonna have to run people at home every weekend, or have them to go home every weekend, but come back down to this area to run freight within Florida. Other areas, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Mississippi, all these states are real close together. Someone has the micro, and it's, if you're not going to, okay, I think I solved it. If you're not going to be talking and you got stuff in the background like television sets, like I said, these mics will pick up everything. They pick up everything. So don't think, I got my TV set turned down, I can keep the mic open. Don't do it, because these mics pick up everything. Okay. All right. So you're going to run them to areas that have these close-knit states, right? So it's not much for them to run from here to here to here to here to there to there to there to there. So this area right here, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, that's a great area to be. Another great area Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. That little streak right there, that's a good area. Why? Because they're very close together and they have pretty good load counts. Okay. Looking at Illinois, you're looking at 1,063 loads. Indiana, 859 loads. Ohio, 793 loads. Pennsylvania, 902 loads. Because they're so close together. Excuse me. I'm still dealing with this COVID, so I get short of breath when I talk a lot. So you got this little stretch right here where you got a lot of these loads that are close together and there's a high load count. Now, let me show y'all what I mean by there's still an abundance of dedicated freight. In Florida, and I always like to start with Florida because people always say you can't make money in Florida. But I've always made money in Florida and continue to make money in Florida. And here's the reason why you really want to deal with Florida. Now, first things first, make sure that when you're looking at your load boards, I don't care what load board you're on, hitting the pay rate is not a good indicator of the best paying load. Yes, when you hit pay rate, it's going to refresh and show you all the rates from the highest paying one on down. Number-wise, it's going to show you number-wise what the highest paying freight is. But take a look at the estimated rate per mile, $2.35 per mile. Now, and then you got to look at your trip miles. That is, 2,428 miles. Now, if you're just trying to get out of Florida and get out of Florida, yeah, that's cool. If you're trying to get out of Florida, you're gonna hit what's called pay rate. Because those are gonna be long range loads, and pretty much those loads are gonna run you out of Florida, Tampa, to Lakeside, California, Havana, which is right down the street from where I am, to Glendale, Arizona. And that, my friend, is a dedicated load. Now, you can't run that if you got one truck. No, because it's too many miles. That's 1,886 miles. That's going to take you what? The most a carrier is going to run is about 450, 500 miles per day. Okay. Now, a carrier can run 600, 650 miles, but you ain't got no drivers out there doing that now. Trust me on that. I've ran 600, 650 miles. I'm in drivership. And you have to be dedicated to run them kind of miles. You have to be willing to keep that door closed. You got to be willing to sit in that seat, only take your 30-minute break and keep driving. and there's not too many carriers out there that can do it. Okay, the average carrier right now, the average truck driver right now is not going to drive more than 450, 475 miles. They're just not going to do it. So if you got to go 1,800 plus miles, almost 1,900 miles, if you're averaging only 400 miles, 450 to 400 miles on your driving shift, what does that look like on how long it's going to take you to run that load? Okay, let's put the calculator here. If you're looking at 1,886 miles, 1,886 miles, and the average carrier is only going to run 450 miles at best, it's going to take you four and a quarter day. Okay, basically. So roughly, you're gonna take up 5 days. That's an all week run. You're gonna run all week to run one load and make what? $4,000? I don't think so. Now you see what I mean by that's not a good paying load? Even though it has a high dollar count, but you're going 1,800 plus miles, almost 1,900 miles, and the rate is only $2.12 per mile. So that number right here can be misleading when you're looking at trying to make your carriers money, okay? Because you have another factor there, fuel. That 1,800 miles is gonna eat up a good portion of that $4,200. How do we know this? Because even with the fuel being what it is now, we also know that trucks only get 5.56 miles to the gallon, okay? So that's 5.56 miles to the gallon. You got 1,886 miles, so you're gonna do, and this is how you calculate how much fuel is gonna take you to run a load. You're gonna put in the miles, 1,886 miles, divided by 5.56 miles to the gallon. That's going to give you, you're going to need 339 gallons, 340 gallons is what you're going to need to run that load. So you take that 340 gallons and you figure what the fuel is right now. Fuel has come down. On average, it's about $3.89. So fuel it is under $4. So 340 times 3.89 on diesel right now. That's going to be $1,322. That you're gonna eat up off of that $4,000. So now you get to the point to where you got a $4,000 load that was paying you $4,000, but you're gonna take from it $1,322. So you got $4,000 minus $1,322. That's only gonna leave you $2,678. Divide that by what? 1,886 miles. What are you really looking at? Is that a good paying freight? Anybody? Is that good paying freight?
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
Not at all. So
No
that's
way.
what I mean. This is what I mean by now, with all these new dispatcher trainers and freight broker trainers that came into the game, when they had this false sense of, of low, all the stuff that was this false demand, this bubble that was in with these high rates and high load count, that stuff was not real. It was real for a short period of time, but it wasn't gonna last. So all that training that they taught these people how to just go in and find these high pay loads, look for this, this pay rate, it's worthless. It's worthless. Because they were not taught how to truly identify high paying freight, how to analyze load boards. They were not taught how to calculate what it's going to take for them to run a load versus short load versus long loads, and the feasibility of the two. Long range freight is never going to pay as much as short range freight. Let me repeat that. Long range freight is never going to pay as much as short range freight, because long range freight takes too much overhead, too much in fuel, too much in wear and tear on your truck, too much in time, too much in you got to stop here to eat, stop here to sleep, stop here to pee, stop here to do that. So all that is money that's coming out of what? Your rate, coming out of your load fee. And I need you all to understand that. So that is the foundation of where you start to evaluate freight to see if it's good for your carrier or not. Does everybody follow me so far?
Yes.
Okay. So what you want to do
Yes.
is you don't want to really look at this pay rate. You always want to go over to the estimated rate per mile. Okay. You're going to click that instead. Because if you do the estimated rate per mile, you're going to get the highest paying rate per mile. Y'all see that? $10.26 cents a mile, $7.12 a mile, $6.13 a mile, $5.80 a mile. Now, usually 99% of the time, high paying rate per mile equals short miles, trip miles, 39 miles, 130 miles, 53 miles, 112 miles, 142 miles, 117 miles, 97 miles, 201 miles, 125 miles, 86 miles, 171 miles, 88 miles, 273 miles. Now, what does that mean? Short miles means less fuel. So you're not spending as much money on fuel, not nearly as much, right? So you're running short miles, you're not spending as much on fuel, you're not wasting time and having to stop here to eat, stop here to do that. Why? Because you're running short run, you can pack a lunch and just take it with you. And you can run more of the short miles in a day than you can run that miles. You can run more loads per day on short mile load than you could ever run on long mile. Because remember, that long mile load took you what, all week to run, right? That's going to be the only load you're going to have that week. Paying you $1.40 a mile after you take out your fuel and everything. That ain't no money. You literally got to carry that ran all week and brought home less than $2 grand. Does that make sense? Anybody?
not
Does
at
that make
all.
sense? No,
Nope.
that's not gonna make sense. That's not gonna make sense. I mean, you're gonna do all right because your percentage comes on what? Your percentage comes on what? Your overall
His
rate.
load.
Yeah, but you are not servicing, you're not doing good service for your carrier. You don't have
Right.
your carrier's best interest at heart. And that's what a lot of these Johnny come lately dispatch trainers have been training, because everything was based on what? A false demand. But now you got to get real. You got to get real. And I see them all the time on Facebook, and all the dispatchers going on one group. Well, how do I do this? What about this? You know, what's going on with the rates? What's going on with the load count? No, I can't find my carriers no load. I got carriers who upset me, but I can't find them good paying freight like I did 5 months ago, or 6 months ago, or 4 months ago. That's because you wouldn't talk with a damn. Y'all know me. I don't mix words. I don't care who I upset. That don't matter to me. My only concern is make sure you all know how to dispatch freight properly. Make sure you all know how to make your carriers money, in no matter what the market is doing. And if you learn this stuff the right way, you will always make money. Always make money if you learn it the right way. Okay, you got to learn to have these conversations with your carriers and show them and make them understand that you know what you are doing. You are in the best position. Why? Because you can see the overall picture, get that load map. That's why I tell you all, always go to the load map first. There's a reason behind everything that I teach you all how to do. Because you want to get a snapshot of the country. You want to see where the freight is. First, that's first and foremost. You want to know off rip if you're going to be able to find your carrier, if the chances of finding your carrier good paying freight is going to be good in where they're at, or do I need to move that carrier down to a certain area? And by taking a picture, getting a snapshot of the entire country, of seeing what loads are, that is the best way to evaluate that. And then from there, you go to those areas where those loads are, or you go to the area where your carrier is. You may have to run them out of this, so and then run them down. But your goal is to kind of run them down to where the good paying freight is, and then let them stay there. You have to find a way to communicate to them. You cannot make money staying up in South Carolina. I mean, up in North Dakota. Let me pull up another view of the direct freight here real quick. You got to let them know that they are not going to be able to make money staying up in the areas of where there is no freight. You know, if you got a carrier up here, anywhere up around here, you got to let them know. You can't make money staying, running these areas because the freight count is very, very low. Okay? And in those mountainous areas, there's not very much chance of dedicated runs because there's too many obstacles. It's going to take too long to get to a place. You got to go up and down mountains. So I need to run you from here, Mr. Carrier. I need to run you from here down to here, down to below this Mason-Dixon line. I need to run you down here in the bottom half of the United States. And I need to keep you on this half of the United, this quarter of the United States. Okay? I got to keep you on the east side of the country, south. That's where I got to keep you. I got to keep you on the east side of the country and in a southern type of region. Why? Because that is your best place to make money at right now. Now, that changes a little bit when winter comes, right? Anybody tell me why that changes a little bit when we get into the winter season? Why is that? Can anybody tell me that?
Because you're dealing with the snow?
I'm sorry?
I said because you're dealing with the snow?
Yeah, you're dealing with snow, and you're also dealing with another factor. The demand for freight in the northern regions becomes higher demand because people are shut in more because of the weather.
Right.
Okay, so And there's another factor. There's not a lot of drivers who are skilled enough to run in the northern regions. Believe it or not, about 60% of the drivers, they take a vacation during the winter. They either take a vacation or they all come south. 60% of them. So now you're working with 60% less drivers that's got a service area that has 50% more demand now. Right? So, you know, have that conversation with the carriers. You know, find out if they know how to drive in the snow, if they know how to drive in the mountains. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I was with Covenant, I made money year round, buddy. Wherever Covenant said go, we went and we made money. We made some money up in here during the winter. Because rates go skyrocket high. Why? Because there's very few drivers that's willing to drive during those conditions. So if you got a driver that wants to make some money, and they're skilled at driving, or they can make money in the wintertime up here. But for the other 3 seasons, they got to be down here right now because of the industry is now reverting back to its normality. Okay. Now, I've shown you all what it looks like in Florida. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. In pretty much any of these areas, even in Alabama, most people don't think of Alabama as a good low state, but let me show y'all something. These areas like Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and all those places, let's go to the rate per mile again, of course. You see what I'm saying? You still got decent paying freight. Not as high as it is in Florida. Because remember, I told y'all Florida was a good place, right? Now, remember I told y'all that. Florida is where you want to go to make money. You all see that now, right? Florida is where you want to go to make money. But even in Alabama, the rates are still pretty good, and you got still some what? Dedicated runs. Albertville to Nashville. See that? Albertville to Stockbridge. Maples, Alabama to Gunn, Alabama. Birmingham to Martinez. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. Not Birmingham. Albertville to Nashville, Albertville to Stockbridge. Here's another one, Gordola to Calhoun, Georgia, Alabama. And all these loads are under 300 miles. Y'all see that?
Those are dedicated? Those are they that you're referring to?
Yeah, the reason why you know they're dedicated because they're running from picking up at the same place, going to the same place several times, and they're leaving on different days. See that?
Yes.
That's how you identify dedicated freight.
Now,
when
you do dedicated freight, do you have to go on contract or you can just
let me finish. It's not going to be classified as dedicated freight. Okay. Now, you don't necessarily have to do a contract, but if you want to prevent the broker from shopping your dedicated rate, get that in writing. It's a very simple process. I'm gonna show you all what I've got a that I use, but I don't really save it. I just use it. I usually draw up a dedicated contract each time I do one because it's gonna be different depending on where you are, and some things they all can't be the same. They all can't be the same cookie cutter way because some brokers are gonna want certain things, some brokers are gonna want this thing, some brokers are not gonna want to. They're not gonna want to. So you gotta have a clause in there that basically prevents the broker from shopping you, but you have to commit to not abandoning that dedicated for a higher paying load. You see what I'm saying?
Got it.
And depending on what your carrier is willing to do and what the broker is willing to do, that dedicated contract is going to change so often. It's going to change from carrier to carrier, from broker to broker. But it's not a hard contract to put together. I'm going to put one together for you all, and I'll show you all what I'm talking about. But I need to put one together that has some stuff that you can take out and stuff you can put in. I've got to put one together that's going to be that can be edited on the go. Does anybody understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like through Adobe or something.
But if you sit down and think about it, it's not that hard to put together. All you really got to have is what? The broker's information. Well, you're gonna leave that blank, the broker number, this is that. Then you're gonna have the carrier with their DOT number and their truck unit number. Pretty much the same way you doing your dispatch people. You gotta have the essential truck unit number, their number, DOT number, whatever. Then you gotta have a phrase in there that prohibits where each person is basically committing to the dedicated lane. The broker is agreeing not to shop the dedicated lane to get a carrier that's going to run it for a lower price. You see what I'm saying? And the carrier is agreeing not to abandon that dedicated lane in order to take a higher paying load. You see what I'm saying? So you got to have those some things you got to have in there. And some brokers, they will agree to that, some brokers won't. Some carriers will agree to it on that end, some carriers won't. So it's going to be something that's going to be highly volatile as you're doing it. So I've never used a cookie cutter one. I just whenever I find one, I just redo it. Because there's so much in it that's not going to be the same as the one before. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, can you put your carriers on something like this without it being in writing? Yeah. Do I have carriers that are on dedicated that are not in writing? Yes. Because sometimes you're just not going to be able to, it's not going to be feasible, it's not going to be possible to have an ironclad in a contract. Okay? And you just got to play that by ear. But this is still the best way to make your carriers money. But as you can see, these areas down here, they have a lot of quote unquote dedicated, as you all can see, right? And they're short run loads. Because you can run two of these loads, you can run this, and then you got enough time to run back. It's only 133 miles, right? And then you just got to find a load going back the other way. I didn't mean to do the mileage report. All right, there we go. All right, then you got to do a reverse search to see if anything's going back the other way. So you got time to run it. Let's see if you got time to run back. It's not showing anything right there. Gun, Alabama. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's say 25 miles, 100 miles. And what was that? Was that a flatbed? Yeah, that was flatbed. Flatbed. Let's do 25, 100. All right, let's do 5,100. All right, there we go. All right, so what you're gonna do is you got one there right here. You got some loads here that you can run that'll take you back that way. You're gonna go to, you're gonna do a 49-mile deadhead, and you can do, this is probably the best one right here. A 48-mile deadhead, it'll take you back to Birmingham, Alabama. Y'all see that? Now there's no rate there, so you gotta go to your rate calculator, your lane rate calculator to kind of figure out what that rate is. But here's one that's a 49-mile deadhead, it's 220 miles, and it'll take you to Calhoun, Georgia. Now the thing is this, to figure out how far Calhoun, Georgia is from where? From, what were we looking at? From Talladega. What was that? Oh, was it this one?
It was Gordo.
Yeah, it was Gordo, right? Yeah, Gordo. So you got to go back to Calhoun. Okay, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at going back. So it's Gordo. What's that? Here's right here. So here we're right here. So you got to figure out how far Gordo is from where we going at right here. We found this. This is it right here. Gordo. You're gonna go 49-mile deadhead. You're gonna go to Cordano. So you're going back to go. That's only 49 miles from Cordano. That's closer than I thought it was. That is real close. Going on to Calhoun. Georgia. So that's a dedicated right there. And then, so this must be right in between Calhoun. Why would it take me back to Gorno, 49 miles, and then I'm going back to Calhoun again? I'm figuring that one out. Hold on here. We did 50 and 100. So whatever it is, this Gorno must be pretty close to Talladega, Alabama, or pretty close to.
I think it knocked him out again.
Seemed like it.
All right, sorry about that, y'all. This thunderstorm is really messing with the messing with the internet here. It's messing with the power here. The power keeps going in and out, and I do apologize. Let me go back to my share. Where was I at? Y'all give me a moment. Do I have everybody back?
Yes.
All right. All right. I was trying to figure out where this load was going from. Right, we got Gorno. No, I know what I did. We did not jump. We did not take that load. We were looking at this load. We were looking at that 133-mile load. That Talladega to Gun. I think that's what we were looking at. And then I did a reverse search, and I was trying to, I was going from Gun back to Talladega. I got it. Okay, that's what I did. I did Talladega to Gun, which is the dedicated. And then because Gun is not that far from Gorno, y'all see what's happening? Because apparently Gun is only 50 miles, it's only 49 miles from Gorno. Y'all see that? Which is another dedicated. So this will be perfect. Be perfect. There's only 50 miles from Gorno. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this load right here, which is going from Talladega, Alabama to Gun, Alabama. That's paying $550, only 133 miles. Then you're gonna deadhead for 49 miles to Gorno, and you can grab this dedicated. But it's gonna take you out 228 miles. It's going to take you out 228 miles. Let's see if I can find something that's going back close to, but we need to get back close to Talladega, right? That's what we need to get back to. So you're going to go, I'm willing to bet this one is close to it because it's only 115 miles. But this still might be close because it may just be going past that. But I doubt that because this is so close to where you need to go. But this is going 228 miles to Georgia, and we need to go back to Alabama. So I'm thinking this one right here will probably be better because it'll take you to Birmingham, Alabama. But Georgia could still be close too. Let's figure out how far Calhoun is from Talladega. So let's figure that out. Let me make sure I got my spelling right. Talladega. So Talladega, Alabama to where we're trying to go. How close it is to Calhoun, right? That's what that's what we're trying to figure out. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I do apologize. My breathing is really, really shallow right now. To Calhoun. All right, how close is that? Where's my map? Why is it not giving me a map? Okay. Why is it not showing me a map? Don't you hate it when it does that? Yeah. Okay, what am I in? Am I in Google? Why is it not showing me what I need to see? Oh, I hate it when it does that. It put me in Yahoo search. I'm not trying to be in Yahoo. No wonder Google makes so much money. They give you more accurate stuff. All right, here we go. So what's the distance? It's 114 miles. So it's not that bad. So you can actually do that, okay? Because you can actually do it, okay? It's 2 hours and 18 minutes, 114 miles. Because there's Talladega, there's Calhoun. What's in between them? We have a whole bunch of stuff. There's Birmingham over there, Atlanta, Marietta. Let's see what we got here. Oh, come on, don't do that. Why don't you do that? All right, here we go. All right, you got Talladega, you got Rome, Georgia, you got there's Birmingham, which is real close by. You got Newman, Marietta, Atlanta, Abbeville. So where is there's Rome? All right, so you got that to that. And then I'm trying to see where else, what's the other destination? We're trying to figure out where we're trying to get back to. Is it Gordo? Let's see where Gordo is. I'm in this picture. Sure, I got this right. Gordo. Gordo, Alabama. See where that is. Ah, so that's that's way over there. All right, so that's not gonna work. All right. So basically, here's what you have. There's Calhoun, there's Talladega, but then there's Gordo. You'd be better going to Birmingham. You do better by going to either Birmingham, Trustville, any of those areas right there. So what do we have here? We have gone to Talladega, all right? But we know that Talladega is right here, and Gordo so Talladega to Gun. So Talladega to Gun. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to get back to Talladega and grab that load again. And I think it can be done because you've got it's not going to take you right back to let me do this. Let's do a 50-50. Let's see what we get. All right, we got to load this for 50-50. All right, 48 miles, and then Birmingham. Remember I said that Birmingham was probably going to be the place you need to go? There it is right there. So you're going to need to go to Birmingham. So you can go, to make that work, you're going to go from Talladega to Gunn, and then from Gunn, you're going to go to Birmingham. Because Birmingham is only what? About 50 miles from, Birmingham is 40, it's only going to be about 50 miles from Talladega. So you're going to go from Talladega to Gunn, and then from Gunn to Birmingham. Now, the question is, what is that Gunn to Birmingham load paying, right? In order to find that out, because it's not showing it on the it's not showing the rate here, right? so you're gonna go to Millport. I'm sorry. You're gonna go there, and then that's gonna take you to Millport. So you're gonna go 48 miles to Millport. You pick up that load, then you're gonna go to Birmingham, which is gonna put you within 40. Which is gonna put you within 50 miles back here at Talladega. So now we got to figure out what this load here is paying, and you all do that by going to your tools and resources. Okay, where we at here? You're gonna go back here, and you're gonna go to your back office site, and you're gonna go and use your lane rate calculator. That's in your back office site. Does everybody know where to find your lane rate calculator? I'm gonna show you all here in just a second. Come on. You're gonna go back here, you're gonna pull up your lane rate calculator. All right, this is your lane rate calculator right here. All right, this is your lane rate calculator. And what we are looking for is Millport, Alabama to Birmingham, Alabama, and flatbed. So we're looking for Millport, Alabama to Birmingham, Alabama. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna put in Millport. Why these things don't show this stuff? All right, you're going to Millport, Alabama to Birmingham. Birmingham, Alabama. And this is going to be a flatbed. So you're going to click flatbed. And then you're going to click down here where it says get rates from a send. And then it's going to pull up down here. It's going to tell you what that rate is paying. All right. It's going to give you a range. It's going to pull up the last 90 days of rates of loads that ran that same route in a flatbed, and it's going to give you the low, the medium range rate, and the high range rate. What you're looking for is to try and get that rate up to around about that $910. Anywhere between that $674 to that $910 is where you want to be at. Okay, so if you got a broker that gives you a quote of $500 or $400, you know he's lowballing, because you already know that the average lane rate for that exact same route in a flatbed, well, all the loads that ran in the last 90 days, it pays somewhere between this and this, with the mid rate being around 674, but you really want to try to get them up as close to that high 910. So here's what you got. You got that rate right there is going to pay somewhere between $800 and $900. This rate right here is paying $550. So if you're running from there to there and running back there, so you're basically looking at $550. Let's say if you can get them up to around $850, so you're looking at $550 and $850, but you should be able to get. And this is before you even negotiate that $550, so you might be able to get them up to around $650, but we're gonna leave it at that. Plus $850 That's $1,400 a day. So you're gonna run him up $1,400, and he's gonna run back. So it's gonna be $550 going up, $850 coming back. Then he's gonna deadhead 40 miles and go back to Talladega and do it all over again. Does everybody see what? Did everybody see what we just did?
Yes.
All right. So you're looking at $1,400 a day, 5 days a week, $7,000 a week. Now, is that a lot better than running that long range load that I showed y'all before and doing $4,000 for going 1,800 miles, but you're only bringing home less than $2,000? Because with this right here, let's look at the miles. Here are the miles that you're going to be running. This right here. You've got 133 miles, right? So let's do this. You've got 133 miles plus 48 miles deadhead, right? Where'd my calculator go? Where'd my calculator go? All right. All right, you got 133 miles plus 48 miles deadhead plus 115 miles, right, on the trip miles. Plus 48 miles, plus 48 miles or 50 miles going back to Talladega, plus 50 miles. So that's when you're going back to pick up the money load. So you got a total of 300. You got a total of 346 loads, 346 miles per day. Here again, that divided by 5.56 miles, right? So that's what the truck gets. 5.56 miles to the gallon. Hold on. I did that wrong. 5.56 miles to the gallon. So you're gonna need 62 gallons and 63 gallons. Okay, all right, so if you're running that every day, 62 gallons per day. So let's say 63 gallons a day. You run that 5 days a week, 63 times 5. That's still only 315 miles, right? You only run 315 miles. Fuel is what? You already determined that fuel is like $3.89 right now. Hold on. What was that? 315 miles, $3.89. So yeah. So you're only spending $1,225 on fuel. Make sure I got that right. 315 times 389. 315 times 389. Oh, I did that wrong. 315 times. Oh, I didn't put in my what's called. My bad, y'all. It's 315 times 3.89. Oh, Jesus Christ, Calvin. Yeah. All right. So $1,225 on your fuel. Okay. So $7,000, $1,225 minus $7,000 minus $1,225. So that's a hell of a lot better than $2,000 running all week one load. You can run that short dedicated freight 5 days a week. You see, y'all see the difference in that?
Yeah, it's a lot different.
Big difference. Big difference. Now, this takes some skill. You got to know how to do this stuff. And other dispatch trainers, they're not teaching the dispatchers the fine points of how to analyze load boards and how to calculate, your profitability, doing all that type of stuff. This type of stuff is what's going to sustain you all, no matter what the economy is doing, no matter what the rates are doing, no matter what the load count is. This is always going to help you all to make money. It's always going to help you all to provide a valuable service to your carrier. Why? Because that's how much money he's taking home each week. That times 52 weeks in a year. That's a decent yearly income. Is that not? Is that not decent? Your income for a truck. Okay, it's a lot better than running long miles doing 1,886 a week times 52 weeks. That's a lot better than that, right?
Yes.
That's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. So you all see how I'm no matter what, no matter what the industry is doing. Because I learned this the right way. Okay. I learned this from driving a truck. I learned this from running my own truck. I learned this from running my own brokerage firm. So if some people say, well, Calvin, you just
What happened? Huh?
Did the weather get them again?
And job creation numbers back to where they were before COVID. Passed the first FTC legislation in almost 30 years and made historic investments in our
all right, everybody. Look, I think that we're gonna call it a night because this weather is not really, it's not really working with me right now. Okay, it seems like it's just getting worse and worse here. Like the lightning is getting more intense, so it seems to be knocking out our the internet and stuff. The lights keep they keep cutting on and off, cutting on and off. So we're gonna call it a night. But I think y'all got my point. When it comes to load board, analysis, you really got to know how. And you have to go back and watch this because this is being recorded. Go back to YouTube and you can put it up and you can watch it. But pay close attention to how we calculate your profitability. Okay. Pay close attention to that and how we define the differences between long range freight, long mileage freight, and short mileage freight. Short mileage freight is always going to be more profitable. Always. I need y'all to understand that. Short mileage freight is going to be more profitable, especially now, because fuel is still kind of high. Okay, it hasn't come back down to $2 something a mile. The way it was when I was running freight. These were like $2.75, $2.72. In some places, it was $2.34. And I don't think we're ever going to see those days again. So you really have to know how to first of all, calculate the profitability. Secondly, this is going to be hard for some of you all, this part right here. Sit down and have conversations with your carriers. That's going to be hard for some of you all because some of you are not used to taking control. You're not used to asserting yourself as the person who is in control of this part of the business. And that's a conversation you are going to have with your carriers. You're going to have to sit them down and you're going to have to make them understand that you are the professional on this side of it. You know how to make the money. So they need to take a back seat to your expertise and your knowledge. Okay. I know that's a difficult conversation for you all to have with somebody, Carrie, but you got to have it in the beginning. You got to establish that in the beginning, because if you do, you'll find that you'll be able to make your carriers money because you're not always playing this tug of war back and forth, fighting with your carriers. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, we got these technical glitches here. we're having a hard time tonight. The weather's not cooperating with us. But hey, we found a way to push through. All right, look, that's gonna do it. Now, in the meantime, here's what I want y'all to do. Congratulations to Miss Jen Williams. She got her RBBS Logistics Learning Centers up and going. She has her own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. And Jen, you want to come on and talk to us about your Spotify broadcast?
Sorry, I'm multitasking here.
I know.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, we definitely are adding a lot here to the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, and you guys are going to be, you guys are really at the right place at the right time, because we're adding, more owners, more trainers, and things of that nature. My background is I'm a business consultant, but even before that, I was in the military and I did healthcare and I did pharmacy, and I was a massage therapist for 20 years. And then I was in the renewable energy space. I'm saying all that to say trucking was not something that I've been in for a long time. Just like a lot of people, with our renewable energy company, we had to pivot. And I pivoted right into a recession-proof industry. If you're going to pivot good. So this trucking thing, like Mr. Butler says, is, you just need to learn it. You just need to believe you can do it first and foremost. And, just take control in the beginning with these carriers and you'll be fine. Once you get your first one, you're going to be like, wow, what was I worried about? So one of the things I'm rolling out is a podcast. I have actually another podcast that's not trucking related, but I thought it would be a good idea because I know a lot of people in this industry. So one of the things that I'm going to do is, I've already actually launched it. It's a Spotify. Let's talk trucking and life. I may change that because I don't really like how that rings, but for right now, I'm going to keep it. Definitely, I want to talk to everyone. I want to talk to you guys. We're here to help and assist. So, I know I spoke to a few of you already, and I expect to speak to more of you guys later on down the line. But definitely, don't be shy. Tap in with me. My information is on the site, and let's.
Yeah, I have it pulled up right now. I can give you when we give you co-host control real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Jan.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna give you co-host control real quick. There we go. All right, you got it.
Also, to back up what Jen said, you guys, we have the group. If you guys have, a simple question, you guys can always, type something in the group, the Facebook group or the Clubhouse group, to ask simple questions. We're here for each other. So don't be afraid to ask questions if you're stuck somewhere.
Absolutely.
Because like I said, we're gonna have quite a few new mentors, new trainers. Jen, she's one of them. Darren Stevens is gonna be another one. Tasha Washington is gonna be one. Ms. Barbara Caldwell is gonna be one also. All those people have committed to getting their own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. If at some point in time you all want to know how to get your own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, just give me a call, 866-973-6445, extension 0 or extension 2. Or you can go to our Facebook page. It's all over our Facebook page. You can also go to your mydispatches.org. On the home page of that, if you scroll down, you see where it says now you can own your very own RBBS Logistics Learning Center. For complete details, click here. Click it, it'll take you to an area where you can do all the details and all the layouts of what you're gonna get, what it costs, what the trademark usage fees cost, and what percentages you're gonna be paying back in royalty. But it is a very good program. You can upgrade as you go along, but it's a very good program. We have 2 entry-level positions, and we have 2 top-level trademark usage fee positions. In the entry-level ones, it starts off at $1,500 on your trademark usage fee, and that means you get the same RBBS Logistics Learning Centers that I have, that Jen Williams had, that Darren Stevens will have, Tasha Washington will have, Barbara Jenkins will have. Barbara Caldwell will have that she will have. You're also going to get all 3 websites. You're going to get the RBBS Logistics Learning Center vocational school website, and you have the ability to register students for the vocational school. You have the ability to sign people up for the online training, all 3 online trainings now, because we have 3 now. We have dispatch training, we have the freight broker training, and we have the how to run a truck training for owner operators. So you'll be able to sign them up for all of that. You're also going to have your own Square store and your own Square account. So when you sign these people up, when they pay to enroll and pay the monthly subscription, that money goes into your Square account. You transfer all that money to your bank account. And then at the end of the month, you then pay me or the corporate company our royalty. If you come in at the $1,500 level, you're going to pay a 40% royalty. You're going to keep 60% of everything that you produce, and you're going to pay 40% back to the company. If you come in at the $2,500 level, you're going to keep 80% of everything that you produce, and you're going to pay 20% royalty at the end of the month back to the company. If you come in at the $5,000 level, you're going to keep 90% of what you produce, and you're going to pay 10% royalty back to the company at the end of the month. And if you come in at the $10,000 level, you're going to keep 95% of all the revenue, and you're going to pay 5% back to the company. Essentially, I am becoming an employee of my own company, where you all make the money and then you pay me at the end of the month. I'm still going to be doing training. Jen Williams is going to be doing her own training thing. Like she said, she has the podcast here on Spotify. Darren Stevens is going to start doing his own training. They're all going to have their own YouTube channels, and you all can do the exact same thing if you choose to. If you choose to just get your RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and you just want to sit back and just promote and make money and let us do all the training, you can do that. But I promise you're going to get, because when you start doing your own training, when you create your own YouTube channels, then we're going to be showing you how to monetize your YouTube channel. And that's a whole new ball game when it comes to revenue. And your YouTube channel money, you get to keep 100% of that. That's all yours. Okay? So it's a very profitable opportunity. But anyway, Jen, I'm gonna let you take it and go through your Spotify stuff and tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's not too much to tell. It's just literally a podcast. So that's the name of it right now. Again, that might be changed, but it is called Let's Talk Trucking. And it's on Anchor, it's on Spotify, I believe iTunes, and it's a few other places where this is actually being streamed, but Spotify is probably the easiest one to just put in the title and it'll come up. Yeah. But like I said before, and like Darren said, definitely just don't think that you're in this by yourself. The reason why we have a community is so that we can help each other out. Okay, so we can progress and we can level up. Personally, I don't think there's enough conversation within that Facebook group. That Facebook group should be jumping every single day.
Yeah.
People dropping what's working, what's not working, tips, techniques, things of that nature. So personally, I'm going to be posting more in there, and we want to definitely increase the engagement.
And don't forget, we have a Clubhouse group.
Right.
But for those of you who are not familiar with Clubhouse, anybody who's in the group on Clubhouse, you can go and start a conversation. And then when you create your conversation that you're going to have, like a Clubhouse meeting or conversation you're going to have, the notification would go out to all the members of our Clubhouse group. And they can attend that conversation. Okay? So we need to start making use of that Clubhouse group. I'm going to start scheduling more stuff on that Clubhouse group. But then you got to show me how to get on the Spotify and some of this other stuff, because I see a lot of potential here with Spotify. Can you monetize Spotify and these streaming channels you have?
You can monetize excuse me, pretty much all of these platforms. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We got to get together so you can show me how to. I can probably figure it out, but I'd love to have your input. Okay.
Okay.
And, but look, the RBBS Logistics Learning Center is becoming. We're becoming the go-to platform, because why would you want to join a platform that only has one trainer? You can join a platform that has multiple mentors, multiple trainers, multiple YouTube channels, a whole lot more content, multiple live training sessions you can join in on. Okay, that's what we're becoming. That's what we are becoming, and we are going to become the go-to training platform when it comes to logistics, brokering, trucking, dispatching. No matter what it is, we're going to be the go-to platform, because we're going to have all these different personalities, all these different experts, and all these different views on the trucking and the freight industry, and different mentors that you can learn from. So, and you all came at the right time, because right now the price is still kind of low, but that price is going to change.
Oh, very good point.
Yeah.
Very good price.
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah. Look, we are actively seeking. Right now to get our collegiate accreditation. And with more and more owners of the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers coming in with their own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, we are all going to be working towards that goal. We're all going to be working on getting us approved for those government programs, VA Chapter 31, HUD, housing, food stamps, the corrections, all these places pay to send people to both. They will pay to send people both to our vocational school and to our online training platform. When that happens, the initial enrollment fee is going to go up to somewhere between $1,500 and $2,400. Now, those of you who are already in, you don't have to worry about that, because you're grandfathered in. Okay, those who come in before we get those approvals, before we get that accreditation, you will be already in. You will be grandfathered in. So if you're out there and you've been thinking about joining our platform, reach out to myself, reach out to Ms. Jen Williams. Hers is the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers 3. You can look it up. She's on Facebook. She's all over the place. She's got her Spotify thing going on right here. Here it is right here. You all can find this on Facebook. You can go to her page on Facebook. I'm gonna put her page out here right now. This is her Facebook page. I'm gonna put it on the YouTube channel, so those on YouTube can have it. I wish this a-hole would just go somewhere, just go away. I really do. There it is on Facebook. Yeah, I'm hiding this guy, but this guy right here is just, I'm gonna hide him. Okay. So this guy is just, I don't know who this is.
Yeah, don't even worry about it, Mr. Calvin. Keep on
I know.
rolling.
Yeah,
Keep on rolling.
I don't know who this guy is, but he's just a nuisance. But I just shared her Facebook page. for you all to go and take a look at her Facebook, and that's where you all can find all her stuff. Okay, you can link to her if you want to sign up for, if you want to enroll, you can do it right here on her Facebook page. There's her. Here is her RBBS website right here, the RBBS LLC 3.com. Click that. It's going to take you over to her RBBS Logistics Learning Center, which looks just like mine, just like everybody else's. And you can see it right there. The RBBS Logistics Learning Centers 3. As you can see here, it has trademark owned and operated by Jen Williams. So you all will be able to go here, click the more button, just like you do on mine, go to our online training, and here you can enroll into her Square store. It'll take you right to her Square account, to her Square store. As you all can see here, it pops up, takes you right over to hers, the RBBS Logistics Learning Center 3, looks just like mine, and you all can enroll in any one of these enrollment training, just like you can do on my Square store. And any of you all that decide to get your own RBBS Logistics Learning Center will be set up the exact same way. The exact same way. So all you really got to do is just promote, 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 promote. I'm going to put her link here in the links here. There's her link right there. It's all there right there. All right. And there it is. And if you all are looking to, go back here. If you all are looking to get your own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, you can find it on our home pages, on both the mydispatcher.org homepage. You can find it on this homepage too as well, right here where it says, now you can own your very own RBBS Logistics Learning Center and its subsidiaries. Detailed presentation, click here. Click that, that'll take you over to the detailed presentation. You all can take a look at what we have to offer as far as trademarks and what this can do for you. And also lays out what each part, what each division, what the earning potential is for each division of the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Okay, I've even included a screenshot of the last 3 years earnings report that I have made, that I've made from just the dispatch training and the freight broker training platform. This does not include all the other stuff. Doesn't include Easily. Doesn't include the vocational school. Doesn't include the how to run a truck platform. Doesn't include the YouTube channel revenue. This is revenue strictly from what I've earned from the dispatch training platform and the freight broker training platform. And that's now, at the time that I did this, it was over $520,000 in the last 3 years. That's 3 years earnings right there. Well over $500,000. I'm approaching $600,000 right now on just the freight broker and the dispatch training platform. So you all can see the potential of owning your own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Okay, so there's the full detailed layout there for you all to go and review. If you want to review it, I'm going to put this also on YouTube for anyone that is interested. Put that on there as well. And I'm also going to put it here in your chat area here. For those of you who are here live with us, it is also, I just put it there on the chat. Okay, so there you have it. Exciting stuff. All right. All right, that's gonna do it for tonight. Look, I appreciate all of you all. I really do. Thank you all for hanging in there with us tonight. I know it was kind of trying tonight with the weather and everything. The power kept going out, coming back on, going out, coming back on. But like everything else, we persevere. I'm dealing with COVID. I'm dealing with the weather. But as always, we persevere. Look, I look forward to seeing you all back here on some of y'all back here on Saturday for the Brokers Hour, 10:15 a.m. on Saturday morning. We have our broker training, and then I look forward to the owners meeting that we have every Monday night. That's for the owners of the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. Those are not broadcast; those are private meetings. So you're only gonna get access to those when you become an owner. And I hope everyone have a great great evening. I hope y'all have a great Friday. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Look, y'all just have a great time. Okay, I wish y'all all the love, all the support, all the success in the world, and let's just be happy. Let's be happy. Okay, we're in a great industry. I can't think of a better industry to be in. So let's just be happy. I want to welcome all the new people. We have a lot of new people in training tonight. I want to welcome all the new people who have joined us here lately. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all learned something. Hope y'all are excited.
Shout out
like
to all the new people. Shout out to all the new people.
Yeah. So hope y'all are excited like we all are. Let's do some great things. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Bye, everybody.
All right, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.